What's up, everybody? What's happening? It's your girl. Everybody loves Juju12. I'm your host, Juju. Welcome to In the Cave with Everybody Loves Juju12. As I said, AP Top 25 Weekly Update. Well, guess what? And it was a amazing weekend of hoops, especially in Southern California. I was there at the USC Notre Dame game, and I'll talk about that a little later. Listen, y'all. I'm loving them in college basketball because we no longer have a situation where we have a team. I don't think we ever really have had a be ranked number one and stayed that way throughout the course of the year season. And I'm excited about it because the as the season approaches conference play, there are some teams that are in the top five that are going to face each other, and shakeups are going to happen. Um, I'm going to go over the new AP 25 Women's College Ball poll because it's out. And there's been a shakeup at the top. UCLA Bruins are number one after knocking off South Carolina on Sunday. They ended defending national champions 43-game winning streak. Stop right there. On Seth Talk Sports, where I'm a co-host on Check While We Up, and I also co-host with Seth Talk Sports Timeout. I join her sometimes on live with games, and sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't, but we both have major respect for one another. But also, not even just focusing on that, I brought that up to say on her show, sometimes I make um, bold predictions for some that don't agree or are just uncomfortable, or maybe I get them to think about what I'm saying and what I'm seeing. Um, I said earlier in the year that before the season started that UCLA, with just the the additions that they added from the transfer portal, I think um, they had exactly what they needed. And sometimes when you have exactly what you need, and you go out and you even get more players that are experienced over just relying on um, high school, you know, draft picks, and they fit the style of play that you wanna have and want to run with what you have. That's exactly what they did. Now, when I knew, because I watched them play Southern Cal 3 times last year, and I know what they had and what they no longer have, but what they've added. I knew that this team was just moments away from greatness, and on Sunday they proved it. Now, did they play a South Carolina team that was running on all cylinders? No, not necessarily. But I think that South Carolina was doing the best with what they have and playing with to the ability of what they have. I mean, they showed great bravado to come in, with their heads held high and their chest out, ready to defeat someone on their home court at a sold out game with a team that is extremely hungry to prove themselves and to reestablish themselves as leaders in the country. Corey Close prepared her team for battle. She scouted well. I feel like she has the blueprint that Don Staley has established with having a strong starting five and having a equally as strong bench. And Don, its team hasn't been looking like South Carolina basketball. And what I mean by that is just the way that they start games with the slow start, which they've been doing for a while. Um, it needs to pick up. I'm not going to go through and just critique them because that's just really not my play my place to do that. Um, I'll say what I see. When I see UCLA, I just see a better established team. Now, if they can, now UCLA continues to play at the level that they're playing and get even better as the season goes. they would be the front runners for other teams to beat. Second in the country they have as UConn. Now, I think UConn is still lasting there because UConn hasn't yet played um, Notre Dame, um, the Gamecocks. Don't know if they're going to play Texas and USC Trojans. I know for sure USC Trojans will be playing UConn. I know that Notre Dame will be playing UConn very soon in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks or 2 to 3 weeks, and the Gamecocks don't play them until they are a lot better than they are now in the future. That is UConn. And what I feel, what I've seen from UConn in this number two spot, I think their spot is kind of shaky. And I think their spot is kind of shaky because when I seen them play a ranked team in North Carolina, it was too close for comfort. What I saw was a team that when faced with pressure, their habits are that they lean on Paige and Sarah Strong. Sarah Strong, for the size that she is and the skill set that she is, she takes a lot of threes and she steps out. Whereas I need her to be ready to be versatile and be able to be a dominant force in their front court because I don't think their front court matches UCLA's front court, nor do I think that when Notre Dame returns with Maddie Westball, in addition to Sonia Citron and Latu King, and with the floating play that Hannah plays, they can beat UConn. And I think it'll be UCLA, Notre Dame. I can't believe I'm saying this because I'll talk about Notre Dame in a minute. Now, one of the plus sides of is the return of AZ Fudd to UConn. And with the return of AZ Fudd, I think gives them another punch. Um, and someone that knows how to play UConn style basketball and plays well off with her best friend Paige. And I think that if she returns to the level of skill and play that AZ can, that will give them that that will put them on the level of remaining in the two spot, not necessarily on the level of beating a UCLA who has many weapons all around that you got to look out for. I think definitely UConn will drop, and I believe Notre Dame will go up. Let's talk about Notre Dame USC game. I was there, and at some points they had led by 20 points. At some point, we had got down to 7. In the beginning, we were pretty much thought we were in. We thought we were in rhythm that they were going to just trade baskets, but when Hannah and Olivia want to turn it up, they do. And one of the things I applaud Coach Ivy for is that she's made, in my opinion, she's made Hannah a floater, and that's because Hannah, and I can relate to that as a two guard. I have a lot of speed, and I can afford to leave my man and go help side on another and recover back to mine quick enough and to come in blindside and come, she's Hannah is so free right now. She's playing so confident and so energized and she just has the green light. Green light doesn't always mean, necessarily the green light to shoot. She has the green light to and she missed sometimes. She took chances that, jumping out at a pass that wasn't there. I mean, but and sometimes she didn't make it back on the recovery, and the team can exploit that. You know what I mean? But it's so cool because she may do that, and Olivia's on the other side, and you think she's not paying attention. She comes right in and fills in, and then another person fills in, and another person fills in, and they're right back in sync again with each other. It was just beautiful. It's little things like that that I noticed. And these two are the best. I said it earlier that they're the best backcourt duo in the nation. They're the best, hands down, duo. Now that duo doesn't have to necessarily be guard on guard. It could be guard to center or guard to wing. And the two of them, the way that they play off each other and together, they're the best. They're the best at that. So I'll have them at 2 soon. So right now that makes Notre Dame 3. I say they'll be 2 soon. South Carolina's 4. Now, if Notre Dame on December 12th beats UConn and UConn only moves down to one spot, like you did. No, on one spot, that could mean for me that Texas, um, who is below the Gamecocks, have a chance to take advantage and steal the next spot over the Gamecocks if Texas beats the Gamecocks. Now, if Texas it beats a team that the Gamecocks then again lose to somebody, that could put them in fourth. But I think Notre Dame doesn't play Gamecocks this year, preseason. UConn doesn't play them into the fall, so Gamecocks could float around in that fourth spot until conference play when the two of them have to face each other. Unless from now until conference play and before they play Texas, if Gamecocks go lose again, Texas will move up. So who's going to play Texas? Does anybody does UConn play Texas? Does Notre Dame play Texas? Depending on whether they play and those other teams win, could push Texas down underneath us, Trojans. Now Trojans will play in the top five. UConn on the 21st, which could move up Notre Dame to our advantage and put them closer to the Gamecocks. And either we will wait and see when the Gamecocks play in February and they just hover around that, or basically at this point, once conference play comes, when a lower team beats that higher team, it'll move them up pretty much. Now, LSU Tigers, interesting. They're just, floating around, waiting for everybody's shoe to drop, playing their easy schedule, some say, in that seventh spot, just growing, developing, getting better, watching all the chaoticness go on around them, and just kind of hanging in that spot. So, now, what's next for them? Monday, Washington. I think the University of Washington, they play in the Baha Mar Hoops Pink Flamingo Championship in Nassau, Bahamas. That's the next thing that's coming for them. Um, USC at number 6, Seton Hall. We have on Wednesday at the Women's Assure Holiday Invitational in Palm Springs, California over the holidays. USC has a game. That's their next game. Texas Longhorn on Friday plays New Mexico State in a showcase in Florida. So no chance of them losing or um, moving out of place there. Um, it says the Longhorns have won all 4 of their games from Southeast Missouri State to Lamar to DePaul to Tarleton. What's next for South Carolina Gamecock? Thursday, they play Iowa State with Addie Crooks and Addie Brown at Fort Myers and the Fort Myers tip off. So that'll be a great Thanksgiving deal. Now, unless they have some kind of letdown, unless this game has really affected them, I don't see necessarily a reason why they should lose. I know Iowa had lost to a lower ranked team that pushed Iowa down a bit in the rankings. I'll look for them shortly from number 8. But it's going to be interesting to see just how what Gamecocks are made of and how they respond back after a loss that they haven't experienced in many games. Notre Dame will play TCU. Now, here's a team that I think has a lot of ability and a lot of talent. It's in the Cayman Island Classic in Georgetown, Cayman Islands. Now, Notre Dame, I wasn't sold on that they are as good as some had said they were. And I think they just had they had games, they had this game circled in order to get into that third spot from the sixth spot. But I think I love their schedule. I think that they have an opportunity to play a team that I want to see if they are who I think they are in TCU. And if they beat TCU, then Notre Dame, you hold strong in that spot. Don't you trip. Don't worry about what everybody loves Juju says. Who am I anyway, right? Yukon Huskies Monday versus Oregon State, 7:30. Flow College Baja Women's Championship in Nassau, Bahamas. So they're also going to be in the Bahamas. So that's kind of cool. So LSU will get a chance to get a look at Paige Beckers and Eugenio and AG Fudd and Sarah Strong, and they'll be out in the Bahamas together. They probably have like meals at the same time as them, and they do this whole event for them. So there'll be some bonding going on between Paige and Flage, who worked together as coaches on Overtime Select this summer. And I know Paige came on both Best of Both Worlds, or Both Worlds, I think, Flage's podcast, and they're building a respect and relationship for one another. And UCLA's next game is Friday against UT Martin in the Rainbow Wine Showdown, Oahu's Hawaii. Now look, that is for them to go out, enjoy Hawaii um, on Friday after Thanksgiving. No, whatever they eat or however they celebrate, Thanksgiving with their families out there in Hawaii, and just really kind of like they're gonna be high off of this win. This is huge for the program. It's huge for Corey Close. It's huge for their morale, not only to beat South Carolina, but to take the number one spot over. And I knew that they could do that. They would rank them as high. They're not gonna, because when you look at the two, there's no reason to think like, oh, that was an off game, that was a flat game, making any excuses. No, they just flat out um, outplayed them, and they jumped 4 spots. I talked about LSU Tigers, where there'll be Oklahoma Sooners, a team that haven't yet been, I haven't yet seen play any of the top 6 teams. Um, they're 5-0. They play on Monday, DePaul at 5:30, and Las Vegas, Nevada. Nothing new going on there. So they did move up. I can't say that because I know that Iowa State was there, so they moved up, rightfully so. I know they have like Reagan Beers over there. I think they have some 3-point shooters, so they're in a good spot in the eighth spot. Let's see if they can move up. Kansas State Wildcats. The Wildcats on Monday play Duke. This could be a chance for Duke to get back into where we thought they were going to climb and develop with their new freshman Toby Fournier and Jaden Donovan from the class, sophomore, um, that is a McDonald All American, and I believe they have some other pieces. This team will be playing Duke, but I think Kansas State will win, and they will continue to remain in the ninth spot. Maryland Terrapins, they've been riding in this 10th spot for a couple of weeks now, and they earned that after the upset of North Carolina State. They play George Mason 3:30 at the Navy Classic in Annapolis, Maryland. So they're staying home. They're gonna enjoy their Thanksgiving. They're gonna have a good little bonding period. They probably have Thanksgiving as a team and things like that. So nothing to something that they could win. So they'll remain in 10th spot. 11th spot is Ohio State Buckeyes. Their next game is on Thursday. Okay, so they're doing big girl ball, playing on Thanksgiving Day versus Old Dominion at the Daytona Beach Classic, Daytona Beach, Florida. So they should win that. I haven't heard anything interesting out of Old Dominion. I believe former Sparks player Delisha Milton is the coach there, so she would like to make a splash. I'm sure any team that's you know unranked, getting a chance to play a team that's ranked, and you kind of got the distractions of the holidays coming. That's how you sneak up on someone and try to make a name for yourself. West Virginia Mountaineers, number 12. Duke Blue Devils, 13. Um, West Virginia plays High Point, not playing any real competition this Friday. Um, they've opened their season with 6 consecutive wins, but they have yet to play a road game. That changes on this week. So let's see if that affects their play um, and affects their position in 12. Duke Blue Devils. Toby Fournier continues to impress as one of the nation's top freshmen. Like I said, she's shooting 55.6% from the field and leading the Duke with 14.5 percentage. Now, for a freshman, that's excellent. For a big, that's great. We know those shots are easy because they're around the rim. But hey, I've seen a lot of bigs this year that should be, and I got one of them on my favorite team that should be putting it back up with ease, but struggling. No one's even like it's not enough that it's not enough competition. It's not enough defense for you to miss those. You're rushing. You're not taking your time. You're not focused. What's the problem? No one fouled you. No one touched you. Why can't you hit the square? You've done it hundreds of times. So good for Toby. Wildcats, Kentucky Wildcats. Whoa, Georgia Amar, Kenny Brooks, love this. The Wildcats have won each of their first 5 games of the season by at least 10 points. That's great for a new coach, new system, new players. For the first time since 2018 and 2019. On Tuesday, they play Arizona State at 4:30 at the Baller TV Music City Classic, Nashville, Tennessee. Iowa State dropped from 8th. They dropped 7 spots to 15th. Now, they have a 5-1 record. Something interesting to note is on Sunday, Audie Crook scored 33 points. Her second career 30-point game. She's averaging 23 points per game with 56% field goal shooting since the start of the season in the Big 12. Thursday, they play South Carolina at the Fort Myers tip-off, but they are a 15th ranked team. So South Carolina, you will win. North Carolina Tar Heels. The Tar Heels defense held Villanova to 7 points in the first quarter and 5 points in the third in Sunday's 53-36 win. North Carolina, you face Indiana at noon on ESPN at the Battle for Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas. North Carolina, they kind of shocking me. I mean, I like them at 16. I think they deserve it. I think I see something in them. How far do I see them going? I don't know. But they should be content. I think they could surpass Iowa. I think they'll go up as they win and Iowa loses. TCU climbing the ranks. Last time I saw them, they were unranked. They are in the 17th spot. Like West Virginia, the Horned Frogs have opened season with a perfect 6-0, but every game has been played at home. A big test awaits on Friday. Friday, they face Notre Dame at the Flow College Cayman Island Classic, Georgetown Grand Cayman. This is great. They're playing at a neutral site. No one has the advantage. How does this go down with TCU Horned Frogs, who are trying to get a big upset so that they can really be where they think they look like the way they play and how they act, they feel like they should be ranked higher than they are. But you can't get there until you beat a team such as Notre Dame. This is an opportunity for TCU to show, you know, what they're made of. Ole Miss Rebels lingering around 18 where they were earlier this season. The Rebels won their last game 76-44 over Jackson State to give Coach Yolette McPhee-McQueen her 20th career coaching victory. Next? Boston College, and they're also in the Bahamas. So nothing there. Illinois Fighting Illini. They finally hit the road this week after 5 consecutive wins at home to open the season. Tuesday, they face Maryland Eastern Shore in Tennessee, in Nashville, Tennessee. So Fighting Illini, I can't put my finger on them. You know, they're 5-0. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm really feeling about Illinois. I wanna start saying that they're sort of a sleeper, but yeah, until they play a ranked team, this is where they'll remain. North Carolina State Wolfpack, 3-2. Although you are 3-2, and but you are a Final Four contender last year, which meaning to me like, hey, your conference makes a difference where you're seated and who you play on your way on your rise to making the Final Four. Um, maybe the losses were something that they needed and were legitimately legit for them to lose to, but to lose to get better. Isaiah James leads the Wolfpack in points at 19.6 for 6 rebounds per game. She's tied with the lead uh, with 3.3 assists per game. Not bad. Monday versus Southern at 11, which is today at the Flamingo Championship. They'll win, right? I believe. I don't know because I don't know what the score is. So if they are losing, they need to go on and just drop to 25. Oregon Ducks 21st. They are 6-0. They're in 21 spot. Their first start of the season. Filipina Kai posted a double double with 14 and 11 to help the Ducks remain unbeaten. What's next? Georgia Tech. Seems like a team that they could win, so they'll remain in their spot. Iowa Hawkeyes. They have cracked the top 25. Good for them. 6-0. They weren't ranked before, so they cracked it with the last time Iowa started at least 6-0 was in 2017 and 18 with Lisa Buter's Hawkeyes began the season 7-0. What's next? Rhode Island at the Cancun Challenge in Cancun, Mexico. Should win that game, so they'll be safe. Alabama Crimson Tide. Crimson Tide started 6-0 for the second consecutive season. Monday they play Alabama State. Let's see, let's go in Florida at a classic Emerald Coast Classic out there. So Alabama gets a little taste against Alabama State. 24th, Louisville, young team. They're 4-2. The Cardinals needed a game-winning layup from Jalea Williams with 47 seconds left to stop South Florida. So they drop. They dropped because they lost a game that maybe they shouldn't have. They're saying at the buzzer. They play Colorado 3 p.m. on Saturday on ESPN Plus. They're still getting TV time, so that's pretty good. I think they're just a young team, but great coach, great players that will be around. No reason to jump in the portal. Just keep getting better. Keep at it. You'll be fine. Nebraska Cornhuskers, Big Ten team, 5-1, and their first game without Natalie Potts last season, Big Ten Freshman of the Year, who suffered a season-ending knee injury last week. The Cornhuskers perfect their season to 80-74 against Creighton, and as you know, Creighton had made a run in the made it to the tournament, made a run. Not sure what's going on with Creighton, but they did score 74 points, and they only lost to Nebraska by 6. But nevertheless, you're both battling just to remain in the top 25. Nebraska Cornhuskers played Kansas City at 8 p.m. in the Big Ten Pick Plus Network on Tuesday. That's it for AP 25. It was a great weekend of women's basketball. Um, there was obviously I didn't know of another upset with Baylor even, but I don't even see Baylor in the top 25. The most interesting takeaway that I have is just me being able to see Notre Dame and Hannah Hidalgo and Olivia Miles up close. Um, really impressed me, just their style of play and what Neil Ivy is putting together over there and quietly. And I think it's another thing that for me that I take away this weekend I get is I even with the loss of Kennedy Smith for Southern Cal and not sure when she'll return this season. Um, it's going to build a lot of character into my favorite player, Juju Watkins. It's going to build a lot of character um, in Coach Sheet as to what to do now that your Power Five, McDonald All American, is out until I don't know when, and you have to make the adjustments with the other Power Fives and other Power Fours that you have. How do you get Kiki Ariapan play to her potential? How do you figure in Juju Watkins and keep her motivated and encouraged and focused on the main thing and grow her up, as a leader. Um, and Juju just finding some time to get some shots up and find your shot. It's a lot of things that are doable, a lot of things that you can correct, but putting people in their right positions, getting guards to understand how to feed your number one option, how to feed um Juju, how to feed your number two option, how to read defenses, how to read each other, how to communicate on the floor, how to play together is weird. It's just something isn't fully feeling fluid and natural. Not bad. They have moments of it, but you still got one of the best players in the nation. You definitely have one of the best players in the nation that can carry you. Juju did that with the Nerds. She pretty much carried them, and when she started to run out of gas towards the end, but still playing at a high clip. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted now, because she averaged 27 points. The Nerds would step in. The Nerds would step in when she faced doubles, triples, when she herself just wasn't having a great game. Everyone else started to uh, get active, figure things out, and find their identity. And I think that's what a lot of teams are searching for right now. That I think UCLA has is they have an identity. They have an idea of and are comfortable with the their roles on the team. So like I said, I just wanted to come in, pop in, tell you about the AP 25 for the weekly update this week, and I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I have some footage. I just might want to put something together. I'm not even sure. I never did a video on Notre Dame, but I really would want to do it with clips and stills and be able to edit certain things. And I want to analyze it and say, hey, this is this and this is this. But hey, over time I may get to that. So right now you just have to listen to my annoying voice. If you got to the end of this video, please like and subscribe and follow me at Everybody Loves Sports. Everybody Loves Juju. 1 2, excuse me, with Juju, and also follow Sex Talk Sports at sextalksports.com and on all streaming networks. She has lots of shows that are going on that you should check out. Um, that's just amazing, the conversations and the topics and the range of conversation around basketball, from politics to making wagers and how to wager, or what's the latest drama, or what's the latest tea. Check Set Stocks Watch out. I'll be on Check Ball every morning, 6 a.m. on the West Coast, 9 a.m. on the East Coast, and as well as on Set Stock Sports Time Out, a weekly show that we kind of talk a little bit more about our favorite team, the Gamecocks, and my favorite team, the Trojans. So until then, I would like you all to just stay blessed, stay cool, stay calm, and if I don't see you before then, have a happy Thanksgiving. Hit that like, hit that subscribe on the way out. Thank you. Have a great day.